Okay, I'm in the 335 convertible, and I want to do a fix on this glove box right here. So when you pull the trigger or pull the latch, nothing happens, and it's not locked. I've checked that it's not locked. You can open it with the key. Just turn it all the way, and it'll open the. So if you put the key in and just turn it, well, that's the lock position. If you turn it the other way, you can open it. But these little latches on the side here and here aren't opening with the electric motor, and you can hear it in there. I'm going to put the camera really close so you can hear the sound it makes. Okay, so the way to get underneath this bin here is you have to pry it away a little bit, get yourself a little space, and then you can work a couple of pry tools underneath this left edge right here. And then once you do that, you just work them right and pop up. There's some tabs in here that you don't want to break, but they pop straight up. So here you can see, as I've been working it to the right, you can see the tabs right under there. And as I go across, you can see they're all right there. One, two, three, 4, 5 tabs. Then you take a T20 bit, and there's 1, 2, 3 T20s in the back here to unscrew. Now what you do is you push in on this so that it's inside of the hole there, and then as you're doing that, lift up on the back side. And that will come out there. I need 2 hands to do this, so let me put the camera down. Then once you get those released, this top will pop off like that. The electric clip for it didn't come with it, so carefully don't bend those as you're pulling it up. Pull it straight up. So I've taken this out, and I've released this wire from this clip in here to give me some space. So now I'm just setting it up there and seeing how it works. If it works, now I'm going to pull the latch now, and you'll be able to hear it try to work. So I just did it 3 times, and you can hear it trying to work, but it doesn't. The motor doesn't work. And so I can push them in, physically push in these little tabs on the side, and the mechanism seems to all work. The gearing looks like it's all working, but it's not actually moving. The motor's not moving. So let me see if I can't figure this out. So all I did was put my T20 bit into these 3 T20 screws, 1, 2, and 3, and I loosened them all up. I didn't take them out all the way, I just loosened them up. And now when I pull the glove box latch, it moves. So it must have just been bound up in there. I'm going to lubricate all this gearing in here. It looks like it already has lubricant on it, some grease. And so I'm going to grease it up some more and then tighten it back up and see if it still works. Okay, so what I did was I greased up right here, the mechanism inside here, and then this arm here. And then over here, this slides along this rail right here, so I greased that up. And now when I actuated and then I screwed down all of these 3 T20 bits, and now it works fine. So I wouldn't take this completely apart unless you have to, because you'd have to get the gearing to be all right when you put it back together, and I didn't want to mess with that. So I just loosened them up and then was able to move it around just a little bit and get to these grease points. So when you're putting it back together, make sure you get that clip right there, the wire clipped onto there. And then I'm going to use 2 hands to get that the electrical connection back into its proper spot, and then flip it over and push it all back into place. So I plugged the electrical connection back in, and now as you're looking at it from the front, there's some tabs down below. Right here's one, and then another one over here. Right there, and you just put those back into the slots. And then you gotta push in this side as you're pushing down, and push in on this side as you're pushing it back into place. And I need 2 hands for that. And again, to get this plastic pit back into place, you just need to push in from both sides, here and here, as you're feeding it those clips in the front, and then rotate it back in, and it'll pop into place. And now you put the Torx bits back in, 1, 2, 3, and screw them back down. Okay, now that all those bits are in, just test it one more time to make sure it works. And it does, and I'll close it. And perfect. Now I just need to put this piece back in, and to get that in, there's some tabs at the back. One here and one here. Fit those into their spot. There, you just get those tabs in the back in, and then you push it straight down, and it goes back to flush. And then at the back, you can put this back in. If you took this out, you don't necessarily have to, I don't think. But it might help. This just sits back in there, and these clips on these sides, they push back into place and twist. And that's it. Perfect. Fixed, back together. Didn't take very long, and I didn't have to take out the whole glove box, which was going to be a pain in the butt, so I'm glad I didn't have to do that.